Good afternoon, dear students. Today we are discussing on topic is Operating System Unit 1, Storage Management 1, Protection and Security second topic. Now we are discuss about the topic is go to first storage management. Storage management, its storage device to define a logical storage unit. The operating system maps files onto physical media like using systems using the topic of file system management, mass storage management, caching, input system already is displaying from the slide. The physical media and access these files via the storage devices. File system management. Second one, mass storage management. Third one is caching. Fourth one is I/O systems. Now we can go to the first topic of file system management. File system management. Most visible components of an operating system. Computer can store information on several different types of physical media like magnetic disk, optical disk, and magnetic tape are the most common. Each medium is controlled by a device. Such as a disk drive or a tape drive. These properties include access speed, capacity, data transfer rate, and access method, sequential or random. Now the continuation of the same topic of file system management. The operating system is responsible for the following activities in connection with file management: creating and deleting files. Deleting the files means Word document, Excel, PowerPoint, anything from the information gather of activities in operating system. Creating and deleting files. Deleting directories to organize files. Supporting primitives for manipulating files. Manipulation of function and directories, libraries. Next, mapping files onto secondary storage. Next, backing of files, backup files. Unstable, non-volatile means I'll inform you. Volatile is a testable, non-volatile is a non-testable. That will be get one backup of the storage media. That will be mentioned here line. Next, mass storage management. The most program including compilers, assemblers, word processor, editors, and formatters are stored on a disk until loaded into memory and then used. The disk has both the source and destination of their processing. Next, free space management, storage allocation, disk scheduling. Some of the functions that operating system can provide include mounting and unmounting media in devices. In your devices, that means in your computer systems. Allocating and freeing the devices of exclusive use by processes and migrating data from secondary to tertiary storage. Next, we'll go to the caching. What is the caching? How it uses? What is the purpose of caching in operating system? The internal programmable registers. Every action will be recorded by the caching. Next, high-speed cache for main memory. Next, most systems have one or more high-speed data caches in the memory hierarchy. Now we will explain here the magnetic disk. A of function, main memory, A of function, cache, A of hardware register. Every action is noted down by the in caching. Migration of integer A from disk to register. Next, the IO systems. One of the purposes of an operating system is to hide the peculiarities. Peculiarities means it is a unique individual specific hardware device from the user. Every user should be having unique address. For example, in Unix, the peculiarities of IO devices, IO means input output devices, are hidden from the bulk of the operating system itself by the input output subsystems. The input output subsystem consists of several components. A memory management component that includes buffering and caching and spooling. Spooling means the program, how it will be optimizing the memory spaces and utilizing the component of the hardware registers in input subsystems. A general device driver interface. Interface means UI, user interface. Next, drivers for specific hardware devices. Next, the protection and security. If a computer system has multiple user and allow the concurrent execution of multiple processes, then access to data must be regulated. Already told you, every user can be having regulated from the access data through the execution of in protection user ID, user login. There will be have to concurrent execution of the multiple processes. Then access data must be regulated as per direction. For that purpose, mechanisms ensure that files, memory segments means part of phases, CPU and other resources can be operated on by only those processes that have gained proper authorization from the operating system. For example, memory addressing hardware ensures that a process can execute only within its own address space. Can be find it down. Here, memory addressing hardware. Here, that a process can execute only within its own address space. The timer ensures that no process can gain control of CPU without eventually relinquishing control. Next will the device control registers are not accessible to users. So the integrity of the various peripherals devices is protected. Next, the condition of protection then is any mechanism for controlling the access of processes of users to the resources defined by a computer system. This mechanism must provide means to specify the control to be imposed and means using. Now the mechanism must provide means to specify the controls to be imposed and means to enforce the controls. What is the meaning? The meaning of specifying control impose functions to the enforce the controls in production and security. The production can improve reliability by detecting latest errors at the interfaces between component subsystems. Interfaces means user interfaces, component subsystems. Early detection of user interface. The early detection of interface errors can often prevent means protect contamination of a healthy subsystems by another subsystems, that is malfunctioning using the threats from the virus. It is safe and secure. Furthermore, an unprotected resource cannot be defended against use or misuse by an unauthorized or incompetent user. A protection oriented systems provides a means to distinguish between authorized unauthorized usage. Thank you, dear students. Now session is over from the topic of operating system, subject operating system. The topic is storage management and protection and security. Thank you.